Have you been consistent with going live, but no matter what you do, no matter what you say, you cannot get your audience to engage with you and talk back? Well, today, my beautiful friends, Video Boss community, I'm going to teach you or talk to you on the topic of learn how to improve your live streams, grow your live stream audience so that you get better engagement by doing what we're going to be chatting about. Talking in riddles today. Now, this sounds like a topic you're interested in. Call blimey, I need to go out to bed. Please do consider sticking around. But if you're new to my channel, welcome, because I do have some new video bosses that have decided to subscribe. Welcome. My name is Janine. I'm a live video marketing coach, the founder of Boss It Live, known in the digital streets as Video for Bosses, helping service providers, coaches, and content creators in how to create high converting live stream and video content. Yeah, with these. Half asleep today. Our friends tell you, it's a baptism of fire me being here today. But I made it. I made it. Good evening, Susan. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for confirming sound quality is great. And thank you for the congratulations. I'm assuming for being here. Susan told me the old sound quality is okay, but you know me, I just check on the old second device. Listen, I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. See. Yes, I'm coming in like tonic boom. How are you? Let me find out. Listen, forget about me. How are you doing on this fine, beautiful Tuesday? How are you? You're probably thinking, what's going on with this woman? Is she going to get to the point? I am going to get to the point. I am going to bring you the good tea for life. But it's been a bit, listen, I think for me, I want to just chat with you guys for a minute. So I have your permission to chat with you for a moment. Thank you very much, Susan, for getting me to double check. I'll chat with you for a moment. So those of you that have been paying attention, I'm here live every single Tuesday, like the lovely Susan that's here. We haven't got Kashini today. She's probably abandoned ship. But I'm live every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 7 p.m. time. That's my anchor time. I've decided I'm holding it down. That's going to be my time. But I don't know if it's a change of weather. Don't know what's quite going on. But Janine's had this little thing going on. I don't know what's happening. Last week I told you about how I had a sore throat. This week, I'm getting there. But can you imagine? Last week I had the launch of my 5-day live video challenge, the Go Live in 5 challenge, which was a huge success. It was absolutely phenomenal. The challenges did really, really well, did me proud. And so it was good, but it was a whole week of me talking, coaching, like 1-hour sessions at a minimum. And so I think I'll use that, whatever gas I had left in me tank, it's gone. And then this week, I'm now on calls for my group coaching program, Accelerate. Anyway, you guys don't care about that. I will timestamp this. Don't worry. I'll put this into chapters. I said that last week and I didn't actually do it. And my video from last week has not done so well. So guys, I am going to pop a card up to go and watch that video because listen, it was a really good video. Susan, you can vouch for me. You was here last week. It was a really good session about the Instagram practice feature that I forgot to optimize, and then the video hasn't done so well. Hi, Anaïs. Bonsoir. How are you doing? You need more followers on YouTube. You need subscribers. It's family, isn't it? So the question is, are we going live? I'm talking to you about live streams specifically to improve your audience, grow your audience. Whatever the platform is, it's about making sure that you're really intentional with taking the steps to really build community around what you're doing. We hear a lot about community. Community is like the buzzword right about now, isn't it? It's community. But how are we creating and fostering community by two-way conversations? Because that's what it is, right? And I love video. I love short form video, all types of video. But I really believe that live stream is extremely powerful in terms of being able to create community, create that space, and really have a good time. Susan, thank you so much for saying it was a great session. And Anaïs, yes, you used to go live, didn't you? So essentially, one of the things that I have been made aware of is that and you probably know this, if you're a YouTuber or you've been around on YouTube or you've been following me anyway, you're part of my community, you probably will be aware that YouTube are rolling out live streams in vertical format, so via your mobile. Susan, you were with me when I spoke about this the last time, but it actually is now like rolling out to more the masses, where you can go live on your mobile on YouTube, and your content, much like the FYP on TikTok, can end up in the Shorts feed. Now, that's going to be great for so many of us that are live streamers that really want to reach a wider audience. Now, how YouTube are going to distribute that content, we don't know, because if you're like me, I am on, when it comes to shorts, like I post my shorts here on this channel. I haven't actually posted any this week, but they don't do very well. But when I had a shorts only channel, which I've shut that down now because I just don't have the bandwidth for it. But when I had the shorts only channel that I would post the same content at the same time, that the content would do really well. I'd get thousands upon thousands of views over on my shorts channel. But if I put shorts on this channel, I don't know what to even say about it. It doesn't do very well. Let me know how things are going for you. So essentially what I'm saying, the live streams, probably what I would suggest is jump onto it early. So whilst the platforms do their data collecting and testing, that's when you're going to get the most reach. That's when you're going to be able to see if that can work for you. Don't wait. So just get on it and see what happens. And but yeah, so that's something that could be a benefit for those that are trying to grow over here on YouTube. But let's talk about the topic. How are we at this topic today? Well, before we get into today's topic, I want to ask you and remind you, please, my friends, to not to forget to like this video today. If this topic, learn how to grow your live stream audience by doing this, it sounds like it might be interesting to you, like the video and do share it out on a little Twitter X or whatever it's called right now. And obviously, as we go along, we're going to make this interactive. So you're probably wondering, well, why are we talking about this in particular? Last week, we were talking about Instagram, Janine. Now we're talking about live stream general. Well, as I've said to you, I was running my YouTube. Help me, Lord. Help me, Holy Ghost. I'm going to get there. Last week, obviously, I was running my Go Live in 5 challenge. And there was lots of questions and comments that came up throughout the course of that specific challenge. One thing I want to say to you is when it comes to growing your live stream audience, it really does not have to be difficult. You need to be intentional, but it does not need to be difficult. So why are we here? Well, just to bring this to your attention, I got this comment from a challenger. We were talking all things around your presentation, how to really engage your audience, and some of the strategies that I do teach via my 5-part framework. And Adiola was essentially saying, as you can see from this, is that I feel that people don't respond to my live, so it's not encouraging, but I still show up. Have you ever felt like that yourself, that people aren't responding to the content that you're putting out there? You're still showing up, but they're not responding. And I know that that can feel very discouraging. But there are a few things that you and we need to ensure that we're doing, dotting all our I's, crossing all our T's, to make sure that we are doing absolutely everything to maximize the results, and that we're actually checking what we're doing so that we can say, hey, this works, this didn't work, etc. Does that make sense? Do let me know. So I got thinking about Adiola's question or her comment during the Go Live in 5 challenge. And I want you to consider some of the following things when I'm actually in response to this, because I do have a response to this, but I want you to be really thinking about, from your perspective as the content creator, as the business owner, let me think about this in terms of my processes, what it is that I am actually doing. And is there room for improvement here? Or have I got it all down pat? That's something to think about. Susan says, yes, but I push through it all. Do remind me, Susan, where and what platforms are you primarily focusing on live stream? So here's a few things that I want you to think about, live or replay. And please let me know your thoughts if you're watching this live, or if you come back via the replay, drop it into the comments. So questions to ask yourself is, why are they not responding? How am I to convey my message? Or how am I conveying my message? And essentially, What is it that I need to do? What is it that you need to do? What is it that you're conveying in your message? Why? It's really important. Let me just bring it up again because I've made it a video clip and I probably should have made it an actual picture. But you've got to think about what it is that you yourself can actually do. Why they're not responding? How am I conveying my message? So I want to ask you these questions. If you are listening to me under the sound of my voice, and welcome to all of you that are joining in today, the lovely number of you that have joined, I love it. But what is it? What can I do? How can I convey my message? Why are they not responding? So I want you to think about, I'm going to share some of the things that maybe you might not be thinking about that is affecting your actual engagement and your views. And if you want to grow with live stream, you really do need to start thinking more outside of the box, other than it just being, hey ho, I'm going live, I'm pressing live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, I'm just going to go live. And having this expectation that that is enough. I say this to my clients, I say this inside my community, that gone are the days where we could just go live, right? And people would watch for hours. It doesn't work that way anymore. There's more that needs to go into the processes and the strategy to get more views, to get the engagement. Does this make sense? I really hope this is making sense. So I'm going to share with you a few things that I want you to think about, and starting now. So the first thing is that when you're thinking about your live video strategy, you need to create awareness. But essentially, how will you do that? So when it comes to the creating of your awareness, I'm going to pass this to you and say to you, whether you're live streaming now or not, when it comes to taking that step and creating a live stream to speak to a live audience, how will you create awareness? Drop it into the chat. Hello, beautiful Kashini. Good to see you. She made it. One of my faves is in the building. And thank you so much, Susan, for welcoming people. So that's an important question to ask, is creating awareness. Now, when it comes to your live streams, it's more imperative than ever that you are doing this. So one of the things that we know that we can do using tools like what I'm using today, it's coming, a StreamYard. So when you're using tools like StreamYard, you can schedule your live stream. Now, granted, coming. I didn't schedule this one today. My time management was not so good today, but I've got a good excuse. I've been running a challenge. But essentially, you can utilize StreamYard to schedule your live streams ahead of time. And you also can create awareness even with your past live streams that you want to rebroadcast. There are things that you can do to help let your audience know ahead of time that you are going to be going live. And you need to do this consistently. Why do you need to do this consistently? Because we need to create the culture. Let's use Nick Nimmin as an example. My mentor, Nick Nimmin. I love Nick Nimmin. I do. So let's just use it, not literally, not literally, as a mentor. Baby grass reflex, you get my point. So Nick Nimmin, without fail, and if you've watched his live streams, he goes live every single week, every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, goes live for about 2 to 3 hours, about 3 hours. And the format is the same and the theme is the same. And it's about helping content creators, small YouTubers, grow on the platform, on YouTube. There's a structure to the live streams. There is a format presentation. It's the same every single week. And he has created the culture around what he's doing because he's spoken to us about creating video trailers for our live streams. I don't do that, but you can do that. But he talks about the creating of the awareness, the promoting, the consistency, the showing up, the having the resounding message. These are the things, my friends, right? Video bosses. These are the things that helps you to build your viewership when it comes to live streams and live streaming, because you have to make your audience and your community aware of what's happening, but you You get them to the live stream because if you're creating a structure and a format that is jam-packed with value, you're going to get those people to show up and consistently stick and hang out. Like I said, Nick's live streams are 3 hours and he holds the room anywhere between 200 and 300. How many of you have actually been in a Nick's live or a similar live, right? So the point is it's awareness is really important. I speak to my clients about this. When you know that you are going to be going live, number one, you should be creating some form of show, right? Theme show, which I've just given an example of. Number two, you need to be consistently choosing a dedicated day and time that you are doing those lives. And you need to let people know ahead of time that that's happening. Does that make sense? If people are saying, like, for example, my challenge, well, people aren't showing up, I'm not getting people coming to my live streams. One of my questions always going to be, well, what are you doing to get those people to the live streams? Thank you, Susan, for doing the welcomes. I really do appreciate it. So a quick reminder that if you have a question about anything that I'm talking about today, drop it into the comments, live or replay. No question is silly. It's really important that we're having these conversations so that you all know, we all know where we have. Susan said, yes, I have in the past. I have not been on in a while. And yeah, and the thing is, I can even say that with TikTok. Like, I dropped off of TikTok, focusing on LinkedIn and some other things, doing my launch. So I dropped off of TikTok. But earlier on today, I did an interview, and I'll link it below, for my Creator Confession series. So I do a weekly live series that I do on LinkedIn and Facebook, and then I edit the video and I post it here. But I was speaking to a 6-figure business owner who grew her business on TikTok Shop. So TikTok live selling in a year to 6 figures from nothing to 6 figures. And one of the things she was talking about was the fact that TikTok are moving towards expanding TikTok Shop, so live selling, not just to people who are product-based business owners, but those who are service-based business. So coaches, consultants, you guys who have courses, we are going to have that opportunity next year. But one of the points that she spoke about was the importance of consistently showing up and going live to speak to your community, to nurture and build those relationships. And if that does not happen, people will not show up and they will not feel the kind of affinity that we're trying to build with them, right? So that's the first thing, creating awareness. And I could go on about that, but I don't want to keep you for too long. But do you get my point? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know in the comments. Next point is this. Be clear in the value proposition. So the question that you and I have to ask ourselves is, okay, we want people to come to the lives. We want to grow our audience. We want them to engage. But why should they do that? Are you demonstrating the what's in it? I say this all the time. Kashini would have heard this. Susan and everyone else who watches me. By the way, where's everyone tuning in from? Do let us know in the comments. But I speak about the WIIFT. Brownie points for any of you who know what I'm talking about when I say WIIFT. It's the what's in it for them, not for you, as in us, the creators on this side of the screen, and we want people to watch us and all of this stuff, but it's the what's in it for them. Welcome to everyone that's jumping in. It is good to see there's a lovely number of you here. Thank you very much for joining us today for our weekly live stream here on YouTube, talking all things learn how to grow your live stream audience by doing this. So the value proposition is really, really important. Are you demonstrating the what's in it for your audience? Now, I teach a whole strategy and framework. That's what I was coaching on the Go Live in 5 challenge last week. So we've got to think about the first aspect and the first element of going live is attraction. So hooking your audience in. And once you've got them to stop their scroll or listen past the 3-second marker, right? Because we all know it's up free. The 8.25 seconds is what I used to teach. That's the attention span of a goldfish, less than a goldfish. Now it's even less than that. So it's now 3 seconds. How do you get them, attract them, and get them to the point where they're watching beyond the 3 seconds? So once you've actually got them hooked in, then it's like, okay, now I'm going to share with you in this segment, in this part of the introduction, why you should stick around and why you should watch. So a lot of people don't do this very well at all. They struggle with that's it, Anais, yes, the what's in it for them. People do really struggle with how to effectively add on the layers that gets them better results. And because they think, well, I'm not getting the views, or people aren't talking to me, there's no ownership being taken. Does this make sense? We have to take the ownership. It's not your responsibility. Kashini, Hobbyman 1923, hi, how are you? Good to see you. I hope you are keeping well. It's not your responsibility, Hobbyman 1923, Kashini, Susan, Anais, anyone else that's watching who hasn't popped up, but hello, I see you. It's none of your responsibilities to prop me up. It's none of your responsibility to just hang out for the sake of keeping Janine Cummings company, right? I didn't even mean to say my whole surname. I almost need to go to bed. It's my responsibility to let you know why you should be here and why you should stick around. It's my responsibility to let you know that your time is valuable here, and I'm going to do the best to give you as much value as possible so you can take and execute or add whatever it is, bite-sized, digestible chunk, and add to whatever it is that you're doing, right? It doesn't have to be complex or anything like that. I hope that this is making sense. Every last time oh, bless you. I'm so glad that you are here, but I hope you are keeping well. And all of you, I hope you are well. How has your week been so far? Do let me know, Susan Kashini, everyone, Anais, all of you that are here, let me know how your week has been. Those of you that's jumping in, I did say how I've been. I'm doing well, but on the struggle bus a little bit. So the value proposition, we understand where we are with that. So the next point is that think about ways. Oh, I missed one. I just missed one. Let that one go off the screen. I missed one. I need to get my eyes tested. So the next thing is you want to create the best possible experience for your audience, right? If you want the views to grow, you want them to stick around, you've got to create the best possible experience. But how do you do that? Well, you have the balance of the value proposition as well as what it is that you're going to be sharing with them. The balance of bringing your unique personality into the mix, because you don't want to be a stiff old boot. And a lot of people are. A lot of people aren't very good. A lot of people can be a little bit like watching paint dry. And I'm not trying to throw tea or shade. But the point is that especially in the service-based business space, coaches and so forth, we don't want to create the wrong impression or damage the brand reputation, so you feel that you can't bring much of your personality to the mix. But that's how you are able to connect and link arms with your audience. And when I say link arms with your audience, let me tell you something. As much as people think, well, the only way that I'm going to be able to do well is by selling them a certain image or persona. But at the end of the day, or just stuffing with valuable information, but the value is in you, right? Because people buy into you before they buy into whatever it is that you are actually doing. That's the truth of the matter. When it comes to growing your live stream audience, it's about the experience you create through your dynamic personality. And as you go along, as you grow, things do develop, right? They do. It goes beyond that eventually, but initially you want to be focusing on experience. That's me, my valuable information, etc. And I'm also going to say, and keep the comments coming. I see your comments. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on the perspective. I will be going through that. One of the things I also want to say, and I mentioned before, that gone are the days of just going live and talking in a box. When we talk about creating the experience, what other layers can you add to the mix? Because you have to disrupt the pattern of thinking, because people's attention spans are divided. So how do you disrupt it? Well, you do things like add in video clips, right? Using tools like StreamYard, Ecamm, OneStream, whatever is your tool of preference. And you add in other layers to make the live stream a little bit more dynamic so that people are not getting bored. Right. So again, just using Kashini and Susan as examples, they were here last week with me when I did the live about using the Instagram live practice feature. And to break the live stream up a bit, I added a video tutorial. It was about 3 to 4 minutes, something like that. added that in so that I gave the viewing audience something else to look at. Happy birthday to you, Hobby Man 1923. God bless you. Here's to many more. Kashini said, my week started with a cold. Oh dear, but you were partying last week, Kashini, so you've been keeping yourself very busy. But I'm glad that your weekend has been amazing. And Susan says her week has been good so far. So that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear all of the awesomeness that you guys have been sharing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And for those of you that are just jumping into today's live stream, we're talking about all things learn how to grow your live stream audience by doing this. I'm just sharing some tips following my Go Live in 5 challenge, where one of my challengers said in one of the coaching sessions that she feels that people do not respond to her live, so it's not encouraging for her, but she still carries on. So I'm just sharing some of the things that I want you to start thinking about and considering so that you are getting the kind of results that you want from your live video content. So we just talked about creating the experience, using tools, bringing your dynamic personality into the mix, creating that valuable experience and all of the elements, different elements alongside the content that goes with it. All right. So I really, really hope this is making sense. And I hope my chain ain't knocking on the old microphone. Let's carry on, shall we? So the next point is, I want you to think about better ways to speak to your audience. So you might be like, better ways to speak to my audience, Janine. What do you mean by that? I'm speaking to my audience. I'm keeping a professional hat on it and all of these different things. But I'm not talking about just you talking and sharing the information. Think about how you can actively involve your audience in the conversation. Now, did you all see how I slipped in, how was your week doing? And sharing with me about your week whilst I still carried on with the conversation, because I wanted to make sure that I was still talking on the topic, but also bringing you into the conversation. And it doesn't have to be overly complicated or difficult, but you do need to think about how you're speaking to people, where you're actually adding the opportunity for them to share their perspective on things. How you're actually using your voice as well is something that is really important. How many of you heard me talk about the power of your voice? Right? If you've heard me talk about it in the past, do let me know. Because again, if we're talking about learning how to strategically disrupt certain patterns, we're talking about disrupting patterns by utilizing tools like StreamYard. But how about disrupting patterns by your voice and how you're actually using it? Because we don't want to be one tone monotonous at all. So think about your voice. Think about what you're saying to your audience, how you're saying things to your audience. Are you utilizing storytelling in terms of how you're talking to them as well to keep them captivated? Because it's one thing to get your audience, but how do you keep them, their attention? How do you keep them captivated? How do you keep them watching for longer? These are some of the things that are so very important that I want you to consider going forward if you really, really do want to grow your live stream audience. And some people, I've had some trolls on my comments recently. Oh, some of the trolls have been trying to come for me in my wig, trying to tell me that, oh, who am I basically to talk about anything when I practically have no influence. And my first response after I've looked at their profile is, be careful that you don't cut yourself on that glass. What is the point of me bringing that up? Because people always want to go to, well, if you haven't got thousands or hundreds of thousands of people in your viewing audience, it means that you don't have influence, that you're not doing well, that your stuff is rubbish. And that's not it at all. You build the communities with what you have, but you build safe spaces, strong communities, and those that you're nurturing that you lead somewhere else, which is what I do. Right? Is this making sense, guys? I really, really hope that this is making sense. Susan says, yes, you have many times. Hobbyman 1923 says, and sometimes doing a live show, is it okay to get a little bit silly? Absolutely, 100%. As long as you are reading the room. So this is something that I will say. You need to know your audience. You need to know your people. You need to know your community. You need to know them, and you need to know when it is appropriate to do that. Now, you guys see that I'm quite silly, but I'm very intentional and very, very structured. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for 8 years. So I know how to put it out there and rein it back in. And I know how to navigate up, down, and all the different spots by being able to be silly but still on point, and be able to bring my personality in but still deliver and execute as an authority in the value. And if you're paying attention, these are some of the things that I want you to think about and start playing around with your own space, within your own space. And I also don't want you to be afraid and think, oh my goodness, because people aren't responding to me when I first get started, that means I'm doing the wrong thing. I better not do that again. No, you have to test things as well. Read the room, know your audience, but you do have to test different things. You know, I did not get to where I am with my YouTube. All right. Most of you know I did 100 days of going live, right? Susan, I think, was here from day one. Susan has seen the evolution. On my day one was not my day 100, and my day 100 is not where I am now as well. So it's lots of different things, all right? So I want you to think about that. Now, before we go any further, I want to ask you the question of the day. What is your biggest challenge with live stream engagement? So share in the comments below whether you are going live consistently, whether you have gone live in the past, whether you have gone live and said, I'm going to stick with video, or you have gone live and you plan to come back. I don't care where you are, whether you are doing it now or not. I would really, really love to know from you what is or what was your biggest challenge with live video engagement. I know Kashini has done some lives as well. I know that's not your focus right now, but please do let me know. Susan, I know you're not currently going live, but you're in the Video Boss Academy. So, you know, you're always looking to evolve. And I know Anais, who has said Periscope days, some of you from the Periscope days. Anais is somebody who wants to really grow with regards to live streaming on YouTube. I lost my point for a moment. So let me know what your thoughts are. Now, before we move on, I want to say to you that it's really, really important that you are really diligent with the steps that you're taking, because this stuff is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It's not. And when I say it's not easy, I mean in the sense of the mindset around it, right? The mindset around it can be quite challenging. But what I will say to you is, which is on my thumbnail, it doesn't have to be difficult. You just need to be intentional. One of my clients was saying that when I did a live with her last week in the challenge group. You know, that's one of my favorite underpinning words is intentionality. So how are you yourself being intentional? That is something that is really, really important if you want to build and if you want to grow. And if you're going to get your feelings hurt, if you're going to keep looking at the numbers or letting that be the benchmark for where you are, you're not going to progress. And if you're going to keep looking at, oh, well, I'm here and I need to go there. It's the book that I'm reading at the back there, The Gap in the Game. It's such a good book. You've got to benchmark yourself from where you have been to where you are, not where you are to where you're trying to go, because you're constantly going to be in this space of lack, right? And you've got to really drill down on, this is what I'm working with. This is the community I have. So now I'm going to go deep. I'm going to learn this stuff, and I'm going to build upon my learning every single week, even if my feelings are getting hurt, even if I feel like nobody's watching, nobody cares, or what are we doing here? You have to keep it moving, all right? I really, really want to know from you. So let's move on. So the next thing is that you need to get a strategy in place and then track your data. Oh, we don't like to do that, do we? That's Jenny, not to do the work. Yes, you do. You absolutely 100% do. And let me just use myself as an example. Again, going back to the 100 days, I did the work. I showed up every single day for 100 consecutive days. And all of you here at varying times during the journey, you were here for it. And by the way, for those of you that are jumping in, just to remind you that I'm live consistently now, every single Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 7 p.m. UK time. So I want to see more of you back here again. But if you have any questions around anything that I've talked about today, please do drop it into the comments. I'm here for you. And don't forget to like this video. And if the topic, oh gosh, I'm choking, it sounds like a beneficial one, please do share. But yes, you have to do the work. You have to track your data. Let me just bring that back up. So to just refresh, strategy number 1, and tracking your data. So for every single one of you, I want you, because we're going into 2024, we can't be where we were in 2024 at the beginning of 2023, 2021, right? We have to be moving forward, and we have to, there's so much. Myron Golden said it, that you can learn absolutely anything in a year. Sometimes we look and we say, oh my gosh, a year is so long to do something, but we can learn absolutely mastery in a year. So where do you want to be in 2024? This time next year, where do you want to be? So you got to get your strategy in place. You have got to make sure that you are taking the time to track your data. And when it comes to your live video content and tracking it, don't worry, I've got you covered. I have created a live video tracker. All the information is and will be linked in the description. Now, the live video tracker is a full workable document that's going to help you to track every bit of data concerning your live stream content. You'll also, in the tracker, be able to track the leads that you're making, the sales that you're making from your live video content, you know, where people are dropping off on, all of the good, yummy stuff, right, is on that tracker. So take the opportunity to get yourself one of those and make a decision that in 2024, you're going to, for a dedicated period of time, right, you're going to apply a strategy for a dedicated period of time, whether it's, you can't do it in 30 days, but at least 90 days. For 90 days, I'm going to go live once a week, twice a week on X platform, because you don't have to do them on all. But if you want to repurpose, you know, you can do that with StreamYard. I won't do it because I'm doing too much. But you can repurpose. You can cross-stream, multi-stream across different platforms. And then you can then repurpose your live streams to go out further. So right now, I've got my live from earlier on today is going live on my Facebook, one of my Facebook groups and two of my Facebook business pages, whilst I'm here with you guys on live stream on YouTube. Because I can't be everywhere and shouldn't be, and I'm strategic in what I'm actually doing. So you have to make a decision, say, I'm going to do this for a period of time, and I'm going to track my data so I know what is working and what is not working, so I can get rid of the stuff that isn't working, and I can replicate more of what is working. I know, Kashini, my voice is going, I can't even do the trumpet, right? So Kashini says, I want to be able to produce better quality videos at this time in 2024. So, okay, Kashini, what is it that you need to work towards to make sure that you're producing better video content? You want to do whatever it is that is your mastery, right? That's what it is. So I want you all to think about this as we go along over the course of this next week or the next few weeks. I will constantly be talking to you about this topic as well as bringing other things to you. What I do want to let you all know is that the doors are open for my Accelerate Live Academy group coaching program. It starts at the beginning of January 2024. It's a 16-week, 4-month group coaching program. So what I'm actually doing is I'm actually opening up calls for those who want to get on a call with me, 30-minute call to discuss the actual program, which is dedicated to helping content creators, business owners launch over the 16 weeks with a live launch model. So you're going to learn all of the frameworks for live video strategy, content marketing, building your visibility, getting that live video strategy in place, tracking your data to launch the thing that you want to launch. And I'm really excited about this program that starts on the 8th, Monday, the 8th of January. So if you're interested in finding out more about the Accelerate Live Academy group coaching program, number one, I'll link the details for the landing page in the description. So you can go and have a look at it, see what's going to be included, have a look at some testimonials, see if it's right for you, frequently asked questions. And I will also link the opportunity for you to book a free call with me to discuss the actual program. So that information will be linked as well, because I want to help as many of you in 2024 really not only just start going live. It's not about just going live, but for you to strategically get the results and build your platform and get the results that you want. So there are those of you that want more subscribers. There are those of you that want to get more leads. There are those of you that want to have the dedicated strategy. There are those of you that want to finally launch that product or that service. There are those of you that want to build your own powerful communities, and they don't have to be massive. Don't, even though I've used Nick Nimmin as an example, please don't think that that's the benchmark for a successful community. It's great to get there, but Nick is where he is in his game, and he's been doing this for a very, very long time. So he's built and established his presence on YouTube in that way, and he has nearly 1 million subscribers. So let's not forget that as well. But those of us that are smaller creators, we have to have a different approach and a different mindset. So the Accelerate Live Academy group program, open to both men and women, is going to be a really, really good opportunity for you to get my coaching and skill sets, hands on what you're doing in 2024 for 16 whole weeks. So definitely check out the information that is linked in the description. And I'm really excited about that. Do we have any questions? Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Drop them in the comments. I'm going to have a look through some of your thoughts and your comments. It's been so great hanging out with you guys. I had quite a few of you join me today, which is awesome. So Kashini said, yes, I need to get a better camera and work on my editing. Absolutely. I absolutely love editing, and it's all bit by bit, isn't it? Bit by bit, brick by brick. Susan said, yes, for real. Plus the challenge was a great success and supporting you. Thank you so much. Talking about the 100 days of lives. Susan also said, I came from Periscope. I know Anais came from Periscope. How many of you here were on Periscope? I started my journey on Periscope, and yeah, I still miss Periscope. I hope it comes back. Any other questions that we have for today's session? We were talking on the topic, learn how to grow your live streams by doing this. And we were saying it doesn't have to be difficult. And if you have a specific dedicated question, please drop it into the chat live or on the replay. No question is silly. So I will be continuing this series focusing on live stream, and I will be pulling a lot of the questions or commentary that I get over the coming weeks from community members. And if there is a specific topic that you yourself would like to see me cover on the Video for Bosses YouTube channel, then please make sure that you put it into the comments at the end of the live, because these live stream comments are not visible, right? So people won't necessarily be able to see them. I think if it's on desktop, you can still see them. But please make sure that you go back at the end of the video and you do drop a comment. That would be really, really helpful. If you felt that this was a beneficial topic, please, please, please make sure that you, number one, give this video a like, but also if you could share this, share it onto Twitter X, Facebook, I don't mind. It all really is helpful. Yes, I know a lot of people do miss Periscope. There's been talks about whether or not Periscope is going to be making a comeback. It would be good to see it come back, but there are things that they would need to change in order for it to have the success. It couldn't be Periscope as we knew it, because the social media platforms have evolved way too much for it to be like that. But Periscope did have a lot of things that these platforms don't have, which would be an edge. And right now people are looking for something new, dynamic and fresh. And I think that Periscope could really, really do well if it did come back. So yes, guys, a reminder, I am here every single Tuesday live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 7 p.m. UK time. So please mark it on your calendars. I want to see more of you here on a Tuesday with me. I'm committed to being here every single Tuesday. And in the week, we also upload a video. A video comes up. Oh, hi, Carla. How are you? I didn't know you was here. Good to see you. Carla's always quietly in the background, but I have to give a shout out to Carla. Carla always shares my videos. When I go onto Twitter, which is very rare, I always see a notification that Carla has shared. So thank you so much, Carla, for always being someone who shares out my content. So if you missed it and you wasn't here last week, I did a whole video tutorial on how to use the Instagram Live Practice feature, which is just such a chef's kisses video, but it hasn't done very well. So I'm going to encourage you beautiful people to click onto the video that pops up on the screen now. And I will see all of you wonderful, amazing people back here next week. Take care. Have a lovely rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.